Hello and welcome, everybody. My name is Dawn Campbell. I'm one of the directors at the International Authority for Professional Coaching and Mentoring. And today in the hot seat, we have the lovely Hulya Kurt. Hello and welcome, Hulya.
Thank you so much, Dawn.
You're very welcome. So I just wanted to have this slide up just for a moment to celebrate and congratulate you on your new book. I know you're doing a book signing at the moment, but well done, Hulya. Great book. Break free from your hamster wheel. So you are now one of the elite, the 3% who have not only talked about writing a book, but you've got a book. So well done. So there's much to say about Hulya. She's a truly inspirational person and a great role model, having achieved so much already. And she is so driven. So I know this is going to be an energetic and dynamic, informative masterclass by an IAPC&M accredited coach and mentor who's already made that successful transition to being an author. Currently all over Europe, judging by her Facebook page, doing book signings. And she's also written an accompanying client-facing signature program, again, accredited by the IAPC&M. So we're going to learn a lot from you, because these are just some of the key things that Hulya is doing while she's waiting actively. I think it's kind of like the busiest time of an entrepreneur's life, those first 2-3 years while they're building their business, their brand and their reputation, and waiting for clients to hire them. Of course, we have clients all the time, but this is the time where, you know, you're not coaching 24/7. So use this time very effectively. That's why I call it waiting actively. So Hulya is going to be sharing some of these secrets and activities with us that have made her a success already, because actually these are the founder cornerstones of building any business, aren't they? And how we do anything is how we do everything. So this first couple of years are really important in terms of laying out your stall. They say a lot about the altitude, which, as we know, determines our altitude. So before we start, as those who know me, I always like to find out something a little bit different and special about our speakers, rather than just something you can read on any blog. And Hulya's company laid on a show, and she was the belly dancer in the show, which she got a huge amount of praise for and comments afterwards. People were super impressed, but sadly it didn't increase her salary. But they loved her anyway. So now she's freelance, and I'm going to stop sharing this, because anybody who wants to hear the interview with Hulya or read her book, it's all available on our website. So I'm going to hand over properly to you now, Hulya, please.
Thank you so much, Dawn, for this wonderful introduction. I'm really flattered, blushed, thank you so much. This is really very, very kind of you. And thank you for the ones who are now on screen, joining us, listening in, and to listen about what you do. It's actually my story. It's not more than that. It's just a story and some kind of golden nuggets maybe that you can take away to implement, which is not rocket science, by the way. It's all something that we know, but sometimes we need a kind of poke. And that's what we try to do here once we're building our business. So let me kind of share my screen, and then let's go into my wonderful presentation, which is not a lot, right? So it's not like huge stuff. Actively waiting. So time is precious and time runs away. It's very easy. You wake up in the morning, you say, oh my God, I've got this list to do and I need to do this. And then in between, you need to do some other stuff. You need to go shopping, pick up the kids, whatever you mean it. You're a business owner at the same time. You need to waste and invest time in your business. And suddenly the day is over and you tell to yourself, I didn't do anything. What happened? Where did the day go? Where is it? And it goes quickly. And each day is very precious for us. It's the most precious commodity that you can have is time. And once time is used, it's not coming back. So that's the days as well where you don't take any action. Even if you're waiting, as Dawn said, for clients, there is a lot that you can do. And it doesn't need to be rocket science. It doesn't need to be big stuff. Little steps do count. So what do we do? What are we waiting for? Yeah? So just to introduce myself, Hulya Kurt, as Dawn said already, I'm a mentor, coach. I came from corporates and I changed completely my career path. Now I'm an entrepreneur and it's a struggle. It's not easy to start everything from scratch. And suddenly you realize you need to do everything on your own. That means marketing. That means, creating your content. That means being visible on social media. Everything is on your shoulders. And that's not so easy. And sometimes we just want to drop the towel and we say, you know what, I don't want to do this. But it's likewise very, how should I say, energetic. It's great to be your own boss. You are flexible and you are the CEO of your own company. So therefore, as a CEO of your company, you can do lots of stuff whilst waiting. But what are we waiting for normally? For what or for who are we waiting for? We are a wonderful little cozy group here. We've got Eva, Lou, we've got Ignacio. Thank you so much, Ignacio, for joining my call. Thank you so much. He's also from Noble Manhattan. And he's my executive vice president, by the way, for Switzerland. Thanks for joining. And Helen. So we're a very cozy group. Anyone, what are we waiting for? What is it we are waiting for? I think Sue has made herself unmute. Do you want to say anything? Any ideas? No? Nothing comes to mind? Well, I just did some brainstorm, just to give you a bit trigger. Something happens magically, so we are waiting for our customers and we're saying, okay, something needs to happen magically. How realistic is that? Well, not really. You need to do something in between, right? For someone to do something for you, huh? That's also something that we do. We ask someone, we need information, that information doesn't arrive. We are so dependent on that information. That's why we don't take any action, because we think, someone else needs to find that information for us. Or to have more time, because we are so struggling in our time saying, you know what, I need to do this, I need to do X, Y, Z. In between, I've got maybe 2 meetings. And in the meeting, in between of your 1 hour, you say, well, you know what, I'm just waiting, it's okay. Or you say, I don't have time. And there's so much time that you can carve out, because time is essence. To have more funds, maybe it's the money, maybe it's the resources, maybe it's something else. Funds can be anywhere. You're waiting for that magical thing which is coming your way so that you can take action. Or for the right time, because sometimes we think, no, it's not the right time. No, I'm not going to do it today. No. I don't have enough time to start the blog post now. It needs to be either I go 100% or I don't do anything. That's also sometimes our thought process. Or for a sign, sometimes we're like, oh, let's go for a sign, whatever sign you're waiting for. But that sign doesn't come, it doesn't arrive. And ultimately, what do? You just wait and nothing gets done. Yeah, so when you do wait and nothing gets done, that's it, time is gone. And you lose it. It's not coming back. So the little things that we can do, what can we do whilst waiting? Whilst we are waiting for the next customer, whilst we are waiting for something, for a contract, in between we've got 2-3 hours, we've done what we needed to do at home as well. And you've got this precious 1 hour where you can do something. I'm not talking about self-care. Self-care is also very important, equally very important. Yeah, so take care of yourself so that you can share as well. That's the fundamental. But let's say everything is fine and you wake up in the morning and you say, I did my meditation, my sports, I did my shopping, now it's done. I had 1 hour coaching course, well done, but it doesn't go and you want to do more, but you don't know how. What can you do? What is possible? Let's brainstorm, because I didn't put anything here. There's nothing.
Mm.
There is nothing whatsoever. I just want to hear from you. So give me 1 sec. Just go back. If I go here, I need to insert the text box because I want to hear from you. What can we do?
Marketing.
Marketing. Give me 1 second. Just go into this. Where is my cursor? Doesn't move. Here we've got the magic of things. Let's go. Marketing. Okay. What else? Eva? I just call out people now.
I just wrote in the chat. I wrote think.
Sorry, I don't even think. Think and study. Yeah, think. Study. Good, lovely. Is there anything
Network.
Network. Network.
Yes, Lou just beat me to it. Talk to others about how, yes, that's a good one, Lou. Talk to others about how they do it. So speak to people that you aspire to.
Good, lovely.
People love
I love
giving
it.
Advice.
Yes.
You find Hulya and I were on the same masterclass with Gerard this morning, and he was saying that people are flattered if you ask for their opinion or their advice, and people who are successful are normally only too willing to pay it forward and help other people share how they did it. So yeah, definitely talk to others.
Talk to others, and even successful people. You know, people that you think, oh my God, I really admire that person. And you find them on LinkedIn. LinkedIn is very powerful too. I use it all the time. That may be another kind of, hacks that I can give to you, which is easy to do. You don't need to waste time a lot, 10 minutes in a day, it's fine. Something else, listen to inspiring podcasts. Love it.
Yeah.
I would say try, fail, and learn.
Sorry, Ignacio, what did you say?
I would say to try, to even fail and learn.
To try? Okay. Like my motto, try fast, learn, fail. No, what was it? Try fast, fail fast, learn fast, right?
Exactly.
And Helena said, contact the press. Yeah, so you've got PR, contact the press. So PR and marketing. Yeah, this is a really good, I mean, this is why I've always called it a period of waiting actively. You've got so much to do. Start your press file, build your contacts with your journalists, start your social media, start networking, all of these things. You'll just be so super busy. Network like an Olympian.
Exactly. Network like an Olympian.
That's you, Hulya. And you, Eva, I know you're really good at this as well. And put people together. And when you do this networking, then you can potentially come up with joint ventures.
Absolutely. And joint ventures are very important. Think about collaboration. Think about with whom you can actually work together with. Join forces. Like for me, it's like from union comes strength. That's my thing. I mean, I love that because alone it's very difficult. But when you get joint forces, it's a better, it's also for the other person or the receiver, great stuff to see with people together. Two people putting their heads together, thinking about a nice program where they can complement each other. And if you are uniting, doesn't mean you're competing. I don't like that word competing. I like the word of
collaboration.
Complementing. We are not competing. We are different. Dawn is different than me. Helen is different than me. Ignacio is different than me. Each one of us do have a different personality, a unique way of talking, a unique way of presenting. And when you are together, you are even more, you are stronger, because this is what happens. Someone takes a speech, the other one takes the whole group through a teamwork. It's beautiful. And you get more business. Think about, at the end of the day, you're all entrepreneurs.
Yeah, collaboration, collaboration rather than competition.
Exactly, collaboration.
Yeah. Eva and I did this about 4 or 5 years ago, Hulya, in Hungary. And like you said, it's double the
More than that.
databases, half the workload, double the fun. So they work.
Yeah. Half of the work.
Helen's come up with a good one, which I think is super important at this stage. Start writing your speeches, your presentations, your key message. You did it through your book and your signature program. But everything you write, whether it's a blog, a diary, memes, social media content, eventually you're going to have enough to put in a book and create a speech, a signature program. So yeah, when you're so busy coaching later on, you can't do these things, can you?
Exactly. And constant improvement.
Yeah.
Constant improvements. Whatever it is, that might be your, this is, here we go for the constant. Yeah. That could be, what could be constant improvement? Your website, your LinkedIn profile. Check out whom you can reach out, how to do stuff. Check out create a repository, create your content bank, like because of social media, right? So marketing, social media, right? It's very important. Create a social media calendar for yourself. Create a calendar where when you're going to post. Create a bank of posts when you have time. And you don't need to have hundreds of hours to do that. As we listed this down, it sounds like it's huge and you can't do everything. Absolutely, you can't do everything. But in between the breaks that you have of what you want to do, your personal stuff, your coaching, and in between, you can do chunks of it. And you don't need to do everything right away or all together. You are choosing, you are the CEO of your company. So choose what's important for you at this point of time. Sometimes it's to update your LinkedIn profile, right? It requires lots of time to think, as we were mentioning, thinking about who's your audience, how are you going to help them, how you would like to be perceived, thinking about whom you can reach out. This is very important. And during these waiting periods, you can do all these little things for 15 minutes, for 10 minutes. So like here, take baby steps. Baby steps are a tentative act or measure, which is the first stage in a long or challenging process. For example, from my side, book. To write a book for me was like, oh my God, to write a book, this is insane. How are people writing books? But then the more I went into the coaching business, I saw as well coaches that I know very well who started to write a book. So I started to buy all of them almost. I have a huge repository of books that I know and follow. And I thought, wow, it doesn't need to be. First thought, because for me, a book means, oh, it needs to be big like this. I was like, no, it doesn't need to be. It can be small, about 90, 100 pages, with some workbooks. So it doesn't need to be a big novel, but you want to share your wisdom, your knowledge. So I said, okay, so first this mindset shift of all the things that you need to do, how to chunk them into little stuff, which is processable for you and doable and realistic. So that was my thought process for the book. And then as I had, and Dawn really had this wonderful, program, which I immediately subscribed and registered for. And at the end of the day, we have done this in chunks. That's what Dawn and Ruby always told us. Every week, you need to only write 2,000 words and not more than that. And you know what? 2,000 words is possible. And you don't need to write the 2,000 words as well, the whole in one day. You can say, every day or every other day, 30 minutes to write minimum 300 words. You don't, guess what? You get there. That's what we mean with baby steps. Also with your social media. Also with your posts and your contents. In between, even if you have the 30 minutes, which is free for you, depending on what you would like to do. Again, don't neglect your needs. as a person. If you need to have a walk, go and have a walk. It's always great to step back. And if you want to solve a problem, sometimes these problems don't, the solution doesn't come up. Absolutely not. Then you know what? The best is to take a walk, to go out and have fresh air or do something different. And then when you come back, it comes. But again, in between, if you have the 30 minutes, start to write a blog. Give the title at least, you know. Agree on the pictures that you want to use. That's what I'm doing, you know. I say, okay, now I need to write an article on LinkedIn. And this is the topic that I want to cover. First, I think about the title. So I create this in Word first, you know, create the title, save this for later, do something else. I need to be on a meeting or whatever. Then I come back again and say, now it's the time to choose actually which pictures I want to use. So I choose the pictures, I save them somewhere into this folder, go back to something else, come back, and I say, okay, now I need to do some research. So I do a bit of research and I find my thought process. This is how you can do with everything. Actively waiting means in between when you have the 10-15 minutes for yourself to think, do it. And thinking process is very important. Reflection is very important. And because we are human beings, we forget what we think. We forget what we had as reflections. So if you have this brilliant idea, which comes instantly, and that happens always when you have a shower or when you cook or when you do something else, that happens to me all the time. Don't forget it. In between what I do, I'm old fashioned, right? So it's like, I've got this little book and my little pen. So, I need to make a note. I make a note for myself, which pokes me to again remind myself. And I put that on, not only on my notebook, but also on a system that I use, which is Trello for my case, having reflection notes. Don't forget, because then I can go back, because our brain immediately forgets. So small baby steps are the key ingredients for long-term success. Whilst you're waiting, you can do lots of stuff. And it's not my ideas that I put out here. It was yours. Your ideas. In between networking, yes, like an Olympian. And what to use at the moment in networking. I know people are not so, they don't feel so good with networking, but it's the A and Z. Networking is important. Look at your LinkedIn profiles. This is the professional networking. It's Instagram as well, not Facebook anymore. Facebook like this. I know I did some demographic analysis as well about who's using Facebook, who's using Instagram, who's using TikTok. TikTok is also on, sorry. It's for really young people, they use it. And LinkedIn. But for the sake of this, you know, business thinking, LinkedIn, focus on LinkedIn. You can't do everything at once. And on LinkedIn, you can find companies that you want to do business with. You can filter them on LinkedIn. It's easy. And you can click on people and you see all the people who are working there. You can immediately send a connection request. You can do that when you have even 10 minutes in between any meetings and you don't want to get up or do anything else. Click on that. See who's working in learning and development, right? See who's there. Send a connection request, not only a connection request, but something nice, because we know we want to introduce ourselves. And you can do a nice phrase like, while searching on LinkedIn, your contact came up as a good connection to connect with. Yeah, you can make it nicer. That's all. And people will respond to 99% yes. And I do that at the moment actively. I mean, I reached out to all Turkish people in Switzerland. I'm Turkish. So there is another kind of vibe and tribe going on, right? So it's a different emotions. But now what I'm doing, I'm actually actively seeking for companies because I would like to do business with companies. Again, it's important with whom do you want to do business? Is it individuals? Which, who? What are they doing? Again, this comes to the thinking process. Who's your customer persona you would like to address? Is it individuals? Is it corporates? If individuals, what are their profession? And you can search all on LinkedIn. with a nice note. Never send a request like that, and nurture that contact as well. Once they say yes or they accept, you see that on LinkedIn, immediately thank them. Thank them to say, thank you very much for accepting my connection. I see you working in blah, blah industry. I'm also very passionate about that. You know, I would love to meet you. Yeah, I love to meet humans. Very nice, easy. That's what you can do as in between your meetings, actively growing your network. Because at the end of the day, people do business with people and no one else. And that's what we need. As entrepreneurs, we need people. And we need to collaborate. We need to work together. Apart from your audience, how to do collaboration? Anyone that you see on LinkedIn. And that's what I do right in the morning. For me, in the morning, it's this. I do my sports. I have got my coffee, because I need to get to it. I need to do my movements. That could be yoga or whatever. Sitting there and then LinkedIn. Let's see the post. I skim. You don't need to read everything. If I see something interesting, and sometimes there is, I connect. I connect immediately. And then I say, hi, you know, it looks like we're doing the same kind of things, and I'm getting very inspired on the content that you provide. Would you be open for a connection, meet and greet? And you can start collaboration. People love to collaborate. Or even now, we are on a webinar. You are participating in webinars, right? You can immediately send a personal message saying, oh, what you're saying is really inspiring me. I would love to hear more from you. What about collaboration? I did lots of collaborations via LinkedIn. And people that I don't even know personally. And invited them as guest speakers. You know, everything is possible. So this is what you can do in between whilst you're waiting for the next customer to come in. Also, listening to inspiring podcasts, very important, getting inspired. And you can do that even when you're doing a bit of sports or you're cooking or whatever. So be practical. We can do a bit of multitasking, which is not always advisable, but sometimes very useful. It depends again on the balance, right? So we need to be as well mindful about our brain, how much it can take in. But, you know, I do that all the time. Whilst I'm listening, you just steer the soup, and that's fine because you can still listen, because the steering the soup is like, you know, automatic. Listening is something else, you know, so you can do that stuff. So yeah, be practical, use your time in that way. And again, as Ignacio said, try fast, fail fast, and learn fast. That's going to be my kind of, you know, post most likely tomorrow or the day after, because I love that. It's kind of from my heart. Why? We shall not overthink too much. You know, sometimes we are just creating our own little vicious circle. And sometimes people are just, you know, just do it. And if you think about it, it's not the end of the world what we're going to do. If something doesn't go according to plan or someone makes a comment, it's fine. You get a bit of a feed forward, I call it. So that's another content and information that you can use to shape your communication. So try everything. If it doesn't work, don't try always the same sort of thing. Tweak it a bit, because the thing that you have done didn't work. So what does this mean? Information for our brain that we need to change a bit. You know, put it aside, tweak it a bit here, change a bit there, even ask for feedback from your LinkedIn, from your pitch, your elevator pitch, your content. That's what I'm doing all the time. I ask people, I write an article and I think, yeah, but I've got blind spots. Everyone's got blind spots. I sent them over to someone saying, can you have a glance? Does it make sense? And they gave me good feedback. So it's like, in between, you've got so much to do. Creating your content, creating your blogs, creating your program, even flesh out your slide deck, whatever you want to create. Think about the signature programs that you want to maybe launch. And that's a lot of work already. But again, don't do it at once. Sometimes it's just too much to have this bulk in front of you saying a signature program. Oh my God, I need to create so many slides and I need to think about this. No, this is not going to work. No, you just start with the title first. And then you have got raw thoughts, really raw draft thoughts. And then next time you have got 10 minutes, you think about, under this title, I might put in X, Y, Z. And this is how you can advance with the baby steps. Whilst not only waiting and not doing anything, you can do so much stuff to increase and build up your business. There's a lot to do. So let me see. Yeah, that's it. But obstacles, because I really wanted to tackle that as well, because we are our best enemies, as we know, and how to move around them. Because it's all again about, yeah, that's great, baby steps. Okay, you tell me that. Yeah, I should do this. But when this workshop, this masterclass is over, what's going to happen? We're all going to go back to our routine, right? It's easy to forget. So how are you going to embed this different work, or how shall I say, thought of taking these little baby steps, actively waiting? Because we've got obstacles. What could be the obstacles, for example? What obstacles could we have?
Procrastination.
Procrastination, yeah. Childcare, yeah, correct. You're looking after kids, absolutely. Life itself, you know. The mindset which is hindering us to even take that step. Our own limiting beliefs, absolutely. Lots of things which can, you know, limit us. So what's the best? How can we move around this? How can we trick our wonderful brain, which is so powerful, to take that little mini step? Huh? What could we do? For example, if we think about when we think about fear. Helen, fear. Correct. Fear of what, right, Helen? It's interesting, fear. What would we be fearing of, Helen?
Actually, if you do it and it doesn't work, I suppose the idea of failure, but also the idea of actually it being successful.
Fearing of being successful. Wow. Interesting, interesting. So what, if you're successful, what is the fear that you would have?
That it could ultimately come crashing down.
You mean we go up and then we crash?
Yeah. I don't really know where that came from, but yeah.
It's a very real fear, Helen. I've heard this a lot. The fear of success is almost as strong as fear of failure with some clients, because if they're successful, they could lose it. They might not understand how it happened, so therefore they can't replicate it, they can't share it. But I'm sure I can imagine Hulya's response to all of that, like, doesn't matter, just do it. If it crashes, so what? Am I wrong, Hulya?
Absolutely nothing. Hey, you know what? It's not the end of the world at all. You tried, it didn't work, so what? You try something else. It might work or not. You try as much as you can. You are the business owner, no one else. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. It's fine. It was not meant to be. Take it easy. Pass is pass. I tried, didn't work. So what else can I do? And if it's successful, just live that moment. Just live that moment. It's successful. Yay. Embrace it. Don't think about the future. We don't think about the future. We don't know what the future will hold. We have no idea. Zero. What we know, that what you have done, Helen, is successful.
You think about all those musicians who are one-hit wonders. They just cannot replicate it. It was such a big hit. And then they live the rest of their life bemoaning the fact that they couldn't redo it.
Yeah. And that's it. Just accept it. Just, you know, embrace it. Embrace the success. Embrace the moment. It's like we need to go back to our childhood. Helen, I think you've got kids, right? I know Ignacio
I've got three young boys.
Wonderful. How do they live their life? Do they think about the future? I don't think so.
Not at all. In the moment.
Yeah.
And
in the
full
moment.
throttle.
That's it. We need to go back to childhood. It's good to have a plan somewhere sitting there. It's okay, you know, but ultimately we don't live the future. What we live is now. It's like me talking to you, sharing that wonderful moment, you know, and then empowering each other and inspiring with different thoughts and ideas and discussions and conversations. That's what counts. Past is the past. We can't change that either. Oh, I tried so many stuff. You know what, Helen? Oh my God, I tried so many stuff. Half of it, more than that, didn't even work. And you're like, God, doesn't work. Okay, so I'm leaving on ice. It's okay. You know, just leave that. Do something else. Come back. And I say, okay, no, I mean, there must be something. So I ask, hey, this didn't work. All my friends, you know, my friends, my son, ask everyone, your spouse, they are great resource. I tell you, we don't even tap into our inner circle of resource. They're good, you know, they have knowledge, they have wisdom as well. I said, you know what, this didn't happen. This, I tried this and it doesn't work. And they give you interesting thoughts. Never that you can, you're like, oh, I never have thought about this. You try that one. Maybe that's going to be successful. Maybe not. We don't know. But keep on trying.
Hulya, if I could pick up on the word that Helen said, full throttle.
Yes.
I mean, this is one of the reasons why I wanted you to do this masterclass, because you've not long since become a qualified coach. You've become accredited, and you went on my write a book in 90 pages in 90 days. You finished the course before anybody else, before even the 90 days. You'd started your workbook. You've got your book out first before all the other authors. You are somebody who lives life at full throttle. And so when I hear new practitioners saying, I don't know what to do, I've been doing this for 3 months, I haven't got any clients yet. I just thought, when I see you plastered all over social media, when I have interactions with you, your energy and the amount of activity and the amount of things that you try, and I can see your networking, I just thought you'd be an inspiration to other new practitioners or even seniors who are reaching a plateau and a little bit stuck. So full throttle. I think, Helen, you've hit the nail on the head that describes Hulya. Anyway, please go on, Hulya.
Thank you so much. Full throttle I never heard, but you know, as you described it, yes, I guess so. And I don't overthink it, honestly. This is just too much waste of time, just is too much waste on energy on that one. You just go for it, you do it, you know, and that's, I don't even think about it. And if I say, and I commit to myself, of course I do. And don't I have moments that I am disappointed, that I'm sad, anxious, it doesn't work, angry? Of course I have. I'm a human person, but it's not long, because what I've got in my mind is, okay, life goes on. Let's have faith in life as well a bit. You know, I'm also a bit of faithful, you know, destiny will tell. I do my best. I do everything that it counts. It needs to work. And believe in yourself. Always believe in yourself. There is nothing else. No one else will believe in yourself if you don't believe in yourself. That's the main, that's very important. And yeah, the golden things are like, just go on with it. If there is an obstacle like childcare, think about how you can maybe delegate some stuff, Helen, you know, because you've got a spouse, a partner, maybe a mommy, an aunt, the neighbors, whoever, for 1 hour where you can have time. There is always something to do. Also about, what did we say? The childcare, the being able, what you base work for you. Yeah, absolutely. Lots of other stuff to do. Never ends. Never ends. It's prioritization again. You know, if you want to be practical and realistically, it's about prioritization. And sometimes right in the morning, I've got lots of stuff to do, but that morning I need to post. That's it. What I do, I don't even go into any kind of my phone, any iPad, any emails, nothing. What I prioritize on in that morning, and that's waking up in the morning with intention. And we had a little bit of a warm-up call, right, Dawn? A warm-up little chat. Right in the morning, you wake up. My intention today is, first thing, I'm going to put my post out in the morning. Why did I say in the morning? I did an analysis as well. People who are business professionals, and this is my target audience, are available in the morning during commute time or in the evening. Weekend, people love as well to scroll through social media and LinkedIn. Right? So in the morning at maximum 7:30, I've got my post out with my thoughts, with my post. I post it on 3 channels, and that's it. That's my intention. If this is done, then I can adhere to other stuff. This is what you can do for yourself as well. You always will have lots of stuff, and this lots of stuff will never end. And thanks God it doesn't end. That means we are alive. That means we have got meaning. That means we've got kids who are making a mess. How wonderful is this? They are healthy. How wonderful it is that I've got my interns today here, you know, and they're working whilst I'm doing my webinar, and we had lunch and complete all over the place because asking and doing stuff, and I can say, oh my God, this is too much. I enjoy it. At the moment, they're going to go. The children will be growing up. The time will go. This is how you just embrace the moment. And it's great that they do mess. And it's great that we have lots of stuff. So just, you know, think about on a different way, right? And moving around is like changing your perspective. A glass is a glass. Like I would say, for example, the situation is the same. You want to be successful. You want to, you know, be an entrepreneur. You want to have clients. How to address and change the perspective is important. Like, for example, a story, bank robbery. Bank robbery is happening in a bank, and in the bank, we've got clients. We've got 3 different customer personas. One is really young, 18 years old. The other one is about mid-year 40s, you know, has got lots of money on the bank, a business professional, wants to get his money back, you know, wants to do some investments. And then we've got an elderly person, about 70 years old, just want to get his renting money, you know, his rental, his, you know, retirement money every month, etc. The robbers are coming into the bank. This is a bank robbery. Go down on the floor, etc. What do you think is happening in the brains of these different customer personas? The situation is the same, right? It doesn't change. It's a bank robbery. The young person would say, hey, this is exciting. This is going to be Mission Impossible. What's going to happen? Oh, my God. The 40-year-old would say, oh, shit. All my money is going to go away. I hope that the police is going to come and rescue everything. And the elderly might think, I hope I'm not going to be murdered. I just want to live more. Situation the same, different thoughts. You can change always the perspective and see it from the bright side of the world, the bright side of it. Is it easy? No, it's not. And sometimes you get really pissed off. Yeah, it is. It is. Sometimes I'm like, oh, you could have done this and that. And then I take a moment, take a deep breath. Say, okay, you're one person, one brain, 2 hands. This is a situation. What can I do? No, I don't want to do this now. I don't want to clean. I need to get on my business. I do cleaning later. This is what you can decide. Yeah, because cleaning will never end. Your business will never end. This is your business. Hey, this is your business. It's like working for a company. You're a company owner. And the company owner is called Helen. How beautiful is that? Or Eva, or Dawn. How beautiful is that? Isn't that empowering? And you can say, you know what? You can even decide you're flexible. How beautiful is that? You can do it during the day, go to your hairdresser and then come back and work late if you wish. That's your decision. Yeah. So think about that. The work will never end. Never. Don't think when you have written a one.
That's what Sue has put. Sorry to interrupt. As entrepreneurs, we have the ability to choose. We have a lot of options. So it's down to us to prioritize. There's nobody else. It's you, PLC.
Yep, absolutely. And think about it this way. As long as we live, and thanks God we live, we're always going to have something to do. So it's not going to end. Even if your kids are grown up, this will not end. I've got a 25-year-old boy here, you know, we're living together. Still messy happens here. I mean, it's not finished, right? But that's great. I love this. Also, as a business entrepreneur, you know, this is your work. Isn't it beautiful? It's not going to end. This is great. You come up with new ideas. You get new inspirations. You write another blog. Suddenly you have watched a film. You get inspired. Share it with everyone. That's the beauty. And this is how you can change your perspective, to enjoy the moment, enjoy it with people, see what else you can do whilst you're waiting for your next customer. And the more you're in the flow, the more energy will flow and the more opportunities will come your way. It's like magic. I tell you, it's magic. And the more focus you put into that, it's like people will recognize you. People will start to connect with you automatically. You don't even need to push anymore. You pull with your personality, with what you are putting out there, with your ideas, with your uniqueness. And that's magnificent.
So are we saying then, are we saying, Hulya, that a lot of the obstacles are excuses and procrastination? It is a mindset, isn't it?
It is. It is. Absolutely. And you just, procrastination is easy.
Yeah.
This is our pattern maybe. But if you need to get around this, just saying, nothing will happen, the consequences, what can happen the worst when you try something out? Nothing. You know what? Actually, you will win because you have tried out immediately and it doesn't work. So you know, oops, that doesn't work. I need to do something else. You're investing in your business in that way. And ultimately, if you want to be a successful entrepreneur, you need to invest your time and energy into it.
And hang around other successful entrepreneurs on social media, read other successful entrepreneurs, listen to other successful entrepreneurs, make yourself known to other successful entrepreneurs. You are who you mingle with. So what's the action plan then? What's the step going forward, Hulya?
What's the step forward? So I was just thinking, what are you going to do now, after that? For example, what is the small thing you're going to do the first thing? Food for thought, right? Food for thought for everyone. So like for Helen, for example.
Oh, so you asked me what I am going to do next.
Oh, she's put you on the spot,
the
Helen.
small thing. Small thing that small thing from this webinar, from this masterclass, you have taken away. Let's put it that way.
I think I need to eat. There's a saying called "eat the frog." I'm not sure if you're familiar with it.
Brian Tracy.
I am.
So first thing in the morning, doing something small that I can get done and out the way, knowing that whatever does happen throughout the day, whether it be work commitments, childcare, husband late from work for some reason, whatever it is, at least I've done that one thing, that one step towards, whatever goal work-wise I'm working towards at that moment.
As Hulya said before the call went on, we were talking about the 3-3 method. I don't know if you've come across it, but 3 minutes meditation. This is before you get out of bed. 3 minutes meditation, 3 things that you're grateful for, 3 things you're going to achieve today. And I would challenge you, Helen, to move your one thing to 3. 1, most important. 1, it will really help. And 1, it's nice to do.
There's I have a journal that I use in the morning, and it's high performance journal from the Brendan Bouchard. And it is 3 things to achieve that day. And 3 things, it is all in 3s as well. So that's probably where that came from.
Possibly, yeah. But if you did one thing that has to be done, that is going to move your business forward, you'll be in a better place tomorrow because of what you do today. One thing that makes some difference but is not life-threatening, and then one thing that you really just love doing.
Exactly. And just pull it up like this baby step, a tentative act or measure, which is the first stage in a long, challenging process for you.
What about you, Lou? We'll do a round robin. What would you do differently as a result of hearing the things that Hulya does while waiting actively?
I think it's actually just getting out there and linking in with other people.
So having the courage to connect.
Yeah, Yeah, and I think it's because I do look at LinkedIn, but I think it's that whole thing of is I connect with people, but I don't then send a little message to say, oh, you know, kind of like what you do. Maybe we could kind of have a chat and see, you know, that kind of stuff. So
Yeah.
Lovely,
yeah,
lovely, great.
Because it is
Great.
two
And
things,
people
isn't
are,
it, Hulya? There's connecting, but then there's
yes.
connecting with heart. If you're
Oh,
just
yeah.
connecting, it's like ka-ching, 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 a slot machine, hoping something will pay off. If you connect with heart, and I know that a lot of you on the call are really good at this, but it's things like, oh, I can see you are interested in this. Have you heard about this book or this website or this statistic or this bit of research? Oh, this is somebody who's paying attention and listening. I'll respond accordingly, rather than just being
Absolutely.
anonymous. So I think, Lou, if you made that difference in your connections, so less
Yeah.
connections but better quality.
Yeah, I think what kind of where I've started doing that is, you know, where you kind of share someone's comments or someone's post, and then you put your own comments and post on it. And actually, I'm seeing that that's working quite well. So I'm sharing other people's stuff, and they're then starting to share mine. And then it's also the, you know, thanks for sharing, and so that starts to build the relationship as well.
I would
Lovely. That's
challenge
great.
you to set yourself a target of how many per week. Don't make it random, because then you can't fail. So set yourself a target and review it on a weekly basis. What worked, what didn't, and then you can actually see that you're making progress.
Brilliant, thank you.
You're welcome.
And also, Lou, to add to that, because you share posts, which is great, but also if you like posts, not only like them all the time, also put your 5 cents into it, because you have got some thoughts as well. That provokes as well some kind of an algorithm within LinkedIn. Because I'm getting a LinkedIn guru, by the way, you know, really inside out. I know all the algorithms and all that stuff. It creates an algorithm where LinkedIn would say, oh, Lou has got interesting stuff. She's always interested in blah, blah. And it starts to suggest some stuff as well. And again, on LinkedIn, on the notifications, you have got, they're humans. Everyone is a human there. The professionals, the successful people, they're all humans. Ultimately, they are just have emotions. You see notifications, birthdays, work anniversaries, congratulate them, they love it. And what it triggers when I do this, I don't even know that person maybe a lot, yeah, it's just connection and birthday. Say, oh, with a special message, not the default one. Hello, David, I see that you have your birthday, enjoy your special day. Boom, done. And then this person looks at my profile and says, well, who's Hulya, by the way? You know, who's she? And you get some traction, and that triggers maybe a business opportunity. You should do everything that you can with little things, with 1 minute to spend on it, which might get a wonderful, you plant the seeds and the fruit will appear. And at the moment you can plant lots of seeds. Not all of them will nurture and get fruits, but some of them will.
That's really helpful. Thank you.
Quality,
You're
not
welcome.
quantity. So Sue, perhaps we can ask you, what are you going to do differently as a result of today's session, please?
Hiya. What a great session, by the way. Thank you. Fabulous. Yeah, one of the things I'm going to do is to put some post-it notes around me, which have got the things that I can come back to when I've got some time in between. So I don't have to think. I can just look at my post-it notes and think, yeah, I haven't touched this for 2 days. I'll go into this. So kind of to cut out the thinking time when I've got some time to do stuff. That's one of the things I will do. And I love the idea as well of kind of getting the social media stuff out the way early on in the day. Because that's the bit where you're putting yourself out there, and that's kind of the bit for me that kind of I can procrastinate on and find other things to do instead. So I think, yeah, get stuck in and get that done early.
Yeah, yeah, that helps. That helps. But everyone is different, right? But that helps me a lot. That not even starting with anything, do it, done, tick in the box.
Yeah, I love that. Really, really helpful. Yeah, brilliant.
Thank you, Sue.
Eva.
And all the connecting stuff as well. So yeah, I'll go on mute now.
I'm with you on that one, Sue. Doing the connection, and you, Lou. That would be mine as well. What about you, Eva?
So I'm going to start small but big. I'm going to send Hulya a connection request on LinkedIn. And also I'm gonna put the post in the morning thing on my list, because I want to get that out of the way. I just had so much to do here with local bureaucracy, because I'm spending the whole summer here, that those could not wait. But yeah, thanks for all the very, very useful like baby steps, actually.
Thank you, Eva. I'm looking forward for the connection. Lovely. And I think we had Ignacio as well, right? Ignacio?
Yes, so I really like the words, your energy, and the ideas that you say, and also everybody says. And as a baby step, I did it already, or I really started while you were talking. I scheduled in my calendar in the morning to start defining my network strategy, because it's really, I'm not having any strategy, so I'm not doing anything. And something that I also, in the title of my own activity on Monday, it's called Networking Connect with Heart, because it's true that as I don't have any strategy, whenever I have the occasion to connect with people, I don't have any elevator pitch. I don't have anything clear to pass to the people. So I think I have to think from the strategy in my networking. So thanks, everybody.
That's really good.
Thank you.
Yeah. I think networking with heart is fundamental to having quality connections. There's no point in having 500 likes if nobody really knows you, but having 100 who you've got a reciprocal relationship with and it's building nicely, that is worth so much more. So that's a good one. And I'm kind of the same as you guys. I need to do the social media, particularly on LinkedIn, the business one, but there's only one 7:30 in my life, and that's evening. So I don't do earlies. So I don't know when I will do it, but I will challenge myself also to add a call to action to my connection. So connect with heart with a specific purpose, but always trying to make there be a call to action so that they have to respond. So it could be just, what do you think? Or how would you like, this to develop? Or when would you like to connect for a tea or a coffee or a smoothie on Zoom? Something that creates an action, because I think at the bottom of everything that Hulya has said, and she is like the Duracell bunny of the battery world, she goes on and on and on. It's action. It's all action. Yes, it's mindset and belief, but she takes a phenomenal amount of action day in, day out, regardless of whether it works or not.
No, that's it. Thank you. And to add as well, for the entrepreneurs, your database is very important. Social media, yes, but we don't know who's looking at social media. So the fundamental step and target is to also with social media to capture the email addresses as much as you can, to put that with their consensus, of course, onto your database, because you're supposed to send as well newsletters out. Newsletters about your new program, about something else, about what you're going to do. And if you increase your database, that's it. So I put myself I'm connecting right, left, center to increase my database up to at least minimum 2,000. That helps to reach out to people when you do an event, a webinar, a workshop, to collect people, to have them to sign. That's important as well. Not only having the connection, but put that actively in your database and grow your database day in, day out. Whatever you use, MailerLite, MailChimp, it doesn't matter, but get that. And to do that, it's call to action. Like Dawn said, this is what I do at the end. What about, and I see we are kind of have the same, thoughts. What about meet and greet? I would like to exchange ideas. You don't sell anything. What you do, you want to exchange, brainstorm. People love it. And you can say quick, it could be a short call for 50 minutes. I really want to know you. I know you're busy. You also appreciate that time. And then when they say yes, you ask, let's jump on Zoom. May I have your email address? And then during the call, you can say, hey, you know what? I would love to have you on my database. You know, maybe I will send something over. You can give me some feedback as well. You get their consensus because of data privacy to put them on your database.
And make it reciprocal. Say you want to join their database as well. Listen,
Yeah,
Hulya,
absolutely.
I hate to cut you off in your prime because I know you've got so much energy and ideas, and we've got a great select audience here who have really participated and contributed to this. But we have come to the end of the time. So what I challenge you to do then is to connect with Hulya on her LinkedIn profile and build those collaborative relationships, those reciprocal relationships where you could maybe do something together and with each other. Yeah, so good luck with the European book signing tour, Hulya. You know, our home is always open to you here in France if you make it this way in September as potentially planned. And yeah, but you know, and in another call, I'm sure we'll explore what you've done with your book and how it's helped you upscale your business. So I'm sure we'll see you again. Okay,
Thank you so much.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Stay safe.
Bye
Take
bye.
care.
Thanks.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.